How I do.
Let's get cracking!
Welcome everybody here to your coverage of the Dota 2 Champions League. I'm your host for the English live stream tonight, Toby1, fresh off my plane from New York. You might also notice two things are a little bit different color-wise and other things, and because if you're watching on the live stream as well and not just here on the VOD, there was a bit of a woohoo kind of moment. But yes, we are changing some things here at Join Dota, but shh. They'll come soon. They'll come soon. For now, one thing which has already arrived is our game. In we go. Team Empire going up against a Fnatic. That is the lineup we got tonight. The full lineup as well from Fnatic. So Hani, he was the stand-in over for Alliance at the ESL1. But yeah, let's see how he's going to go as he comes back to his new team. The team formerly known as MYM. Then Hani basically took most of them, removed one, added himself, and made them Fnatic. So welcome to the birth of the current Fnatic lineup. And of course, the Fnatic of old, the Fnatic which has attended multiple LAN events, has just, yeah, that's a very sporadic, like, they've gone out and spread their seeds into multiple different teams. We'll see how this Fnatic will do tonight up against Team Empire, the team which has nothing to lose. Like, literally, they have nothing to lose in this. It's all coming down to actually their victories, however, to justify what's going to happen in the later parts of this group stage. So currently, with the current standings, there will be 4 teams in the playoff and 1 team going directly through to DreamHack Bucharest. Now, that 1 team going directly through to Bucharest is Team Empire. Team Empire, the team already qualified. They have 2 losses to their name. Even if they do go with a 0-2 result here, they'll still only bring them to 4 losses, which means they still top the point board for the group stage with an 8-2, or in that case, it would be 8-4 results. If Fnatic can get these 2 games, they leveled up at 6 apiece. This causes a 3-way tie over second position, and the 2nd to 5th positions will play in the double elimination playoff. There's 4 teams that come through into that one. Current standings will mean Team Tinker, Cloud9, Nordis Vincere, and Power Rangers will be the teams that will qualify. So some big matches coming up this evening, especially as far as the fate of Fnatic going. It's also the fate of Power Rangers. They sit there having finished all of their games, and really, they just have to wait for a draw. That is their hope right now. With their 7 losses, they must hope for like either a draw coming out in this game would be the best thing for them, because then it's going to be a little bit more, yeah, everything starts to level itself out a little bit more then. But let's see how we go. Game is already underway, so the draft is happening. I'm surprised Terrablade's going to slip through the first 2 after what we saw him do over the weekend. I say weekend, I gotta remember, it's only a Thursday and Friday. We're still on the weekend. But the Magnus is going to be banned out against Fnatic, as well as the Razor. I know Fnatic have been experimenting a lot more with that Magnus. I know a couple of players actually told me that too, with the scrims. The Fnatic were just hovering around that. So it's not as weird a ban coming out here from Resolution. Skywrath as well as the Terrorblade being removed. No surprise there. Faces Void and Naga. So Fnatic can try and take away all the big team fight presence coming up from Team Empire. But Team Empire's got a Brewmaster as well as a Death Prophet. That kind of combination itself, you got Chaos with a lot of raw physical damage. And the way Fnatic try and get around that, we run Batrider, Shadow Demon, as well as Ogre Magi. And this kind of allows them, if they want to, just to go full out attack aggressive. If you can't always win head to head, then just try and pick a snowball lineup.
10 seconds remaining.
It's not having a lack of confidence in yourself, it's just having more of a perspective of reality.
Remaining.
So maybe that's what Fnatic is going to play around with this one. We should also point out that it's our crazy Romanian man. It is Come With Me who's doing the draft in this game, and it is in fact not Hani who's doing the draft. While Resolution, he always drafts for Team Empire. And he drafts everything which is just very, very stable. Death Prophet, Brewmaster, you've still got always when a Flyers hero to come up here. Solo. That Nagasarans also should flag out the fact too that Solo is one of the guys that's been playing as a support, as we will have a bit of a lag problem. Yay. Because everyone loves a lag problem. Apart from this guy. So we'll, looks like our Volvo servers are still working beautifully. Love it. Love it. Sort of. Not really. Yeah. So we'll disconnect and reconnect back in again. Don't fear, people. Do not panic. Don't picnic. Don't picnic. I was trying to actually change my setup before we went into the game. So I realized I still have my ESL 1 HUD as default after our weekend. Weekend. I can't say weekend. Our other days of casting. Our LAN finals. Now it looks like I missed nothing anyway. Resolution still considering what he wants to actually do here. Also want to say a big greeting to everyone out there who is tuning in. I know there has been an absolute wonderful assortment of Dota that you're able to go and listen to. So if you have made your choice to come over here and listen to the D2CL, I thank you for your selection. Also, if you want to follow the action, the D2CL, all the results, everything else, you can go to d2cl.org. That is the English website. And also has a link to all the VODs over there. You can also check out all the VODs right here on our Dailymotion channel or youtube.com/joindota. And you can follow all the information at joindota.com as well. That's for the entire Dota 2 world. But of course, you can look at the coverage pages, which has all the information on the US playoffs, which Sneaky Nick's Assassins were able to take 3-0 over Navi US.
5 seconds remaining.
Actually gave themselves a ticket to go to DreamHack Bucharest. It'll be interesting to watch those boys play. And then you've already got Team Empire, and you can follow their progression as well throughout the group stages. So a lot of matches here for the D2CL, a lot of good quality content. And a Team Empire favorite, but funnily enough, not for the player, which is still here in the team. It's actually Yoki, who is going to have to... I don't know if he's going to take up the role of the Nature's Prophet here. Unfortunately, I've been away, so I haven't actually watched it since they removed Mag from Team Empire's roster. But yeah, Nature's Prophet will come in for them, and normally it would have been played by Mag, their off-lane player. And he had a lot of signature heroes, so Team Empire got some big shoes to fill, but at the same time, they wouldn't have taken the shoes off him if they didn't think they could fill them. A Luna pickup from Fnatic. Okay. Not 100% certain exactly what they're trying to achieve with this lineup, Fnatic. Because you got Ogre Magi, you got Barrett, you got Luna. Okay, so you got some good initiation. You got a lot of good control coming out from the SD and the Ogre Magi. Ogre Magi, a little bit more random generator, but the control is going to be there. And then a Luna pickup comes in. Now, Luna is normally meant to buff up your early damage. Now, this can happen in an aggro tri lane, which is not recommended because Luna is just so squishy. But potentially, you just go on a safe lane, you farm up, and then you just push. Works great up against lamps which have, mass minion armies, like, for example, Nature's Prophet. It also doesn't help the Brewmaster with the bouncing glaives. But the Luna, her lane presence early on, is still very dependent on her support heroes having some good follow-up. She's a Lucent Beam and then physical damage. That's all it really is. And the SD and the Ogre Magi don't really provide that. That's why I got a funny feeling that this may even be a mid-solo Ogre Magi, and they pick up something more like an Enchantress and try and force down the lanes. I know it sounds weird, but with this kind of lineup from Fnatic, when you go for this style of build up against what Team Empire is now providing,
5 seconds
they need something that's going to force an issue. If they try and hold back and fight this, they're going to lose in late game.
Reserve time.
Unless this mid solo is going to carry and completely outlane a death. Actually, it won't even be a Death Prophet, because it's probably going to be the Brewmaster in the mid. Because this Resolution likes playing the Brewmaster, then again he likes playing the Death Prophet as well. I'm actually to see how Team Empire lane this now. When you think about it more, they are very flexible with the way they can do their laning here. And with an Abaddon, it kind of gives you a license to bot lane, or at least dual bot lane. Very along the same lines as something like the Bane, which just got banned out as well. It's like Ogre Magi goes for his mass long stuns, and then Abaddon just shields him. You break him free. So Death Prophet's going to be really difficult to kill off. The control power just isn't really there. I know the boys on the panel
Reserve
during ESL 1 were also talking about Abaddon, and they flagged something which I kind of almost want to actually go back almost a year and a half into Dota 2 to something that I used to quote Goblike about when Abaddon was being played a lot as a support hero, and that's primarily Abaddon has to keep up with the core he's protecting. Now, this happens through 4 stuff, but it's not as reliable because you got to get there a lot quicker. And something which Goblike told me was that you got to basically use a Blink Dagger for the Abaddon, because the second a Batrider is going to jump, you need to be next to your hero, because the cast range is really, really
10
bad on the
seconds
shield.
remaining. Team
I'm
Empire's turn
still
to
not
pick.
certain about this. The team fight potential of Fnatic is really, really good, but Team Empire can just sit back in their lanes and farm if they want to. This is almost one of those games where I'd want to see an Enigma. Actually, no, with all the lineup they've got, that could actually cause a lot more problems. But Team Empire could just run a jungle hero. They don't really have some great rotation, so this should just turn into farm. Now, should pick up a puck. That's a support profit then. That's a Nature's Prophet support. Yeah, by solo. He's going to similarly take that jungle, but he'll TP onto every single lane he feels he can add pressure. And Silence actually going to be the man taking up the role as the puck. It's a signature hero of Resolution, but then again, 3 of these heroes are Resolution's signature heroes. So it's not that simple just to go straight into it and say, yeah, Resolution. He's going to play all 3 heroes for their team. But Fnatic, I'm interested to see just how successful this is going to be. Alright, so let's get ourselves inside the game, as we are well underway. I'm also going to
Prepare for
quickly
battle.
switch out because I realize we have the wrong HUD. You know what? Come with me, just because of you. We're going to do the Pirate Captain. Just because of you. Just because you come with me. Just because you come with me. Alright. So let's watch our lanes. So, in towards the middle lane, it will be actually Resolution as the Death Prophet. It puts Yoki to the off lane as the Brewmaster. Silent will be taking the safe lane solo as the Puck. Inside the base will be Solo with an early Null Talisman, so we'll probably just be looking at him not fully going jungle. In fact, with this kind of line, with this kind of build, you actually can't go jungle. He's shared these tangos out, and then just has the Null Talisman. So it's not really a lot to write home about. Huh. Because if you had enough for some clarities, then it'd be...
to war, boys.
Okay, we're not using Pirate Captain. Sorry, we're going default. That lasted for a grand total of 5 seconds. Come with me. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I just can't take your Romanian piracy. Alright. Yeah, so, Fnatic. Ryze, offlane, Ogre Magi. Just hovering in the trees. We got Ace. He'll be the Batrider up here as well. Boots first, so they're going to try and dual lane the offlane. That leaves space for Hein to farm up as Luna on the bottom. Come with me will be babysitting him, and they'll be able to easily zone out the Brewmaster. Right, there should be really no problems whatsoever with this. Up towards that top, so Ace. Boost first only going to get him so far. Ryze actually dug himself into the tree line. Normally, you can hide yourself in this little crevice, but then when someone walks around this direction, they'll notice you when the Fog of War reveals up that way. But what he's actually done is remove this little tree on the side here, which let him cut in a little bit deeper. So his goal is to find the kills. Unfortunately, while he's here, for Ryze's sake, this is his vision. He's blind as a bat. He has an observer ward over on the far right, but they want to try and pick up the support hero, and it's going to be Abaddon. He does actually have Ignite, so he'll throw that out. We'll just slow down, always want to fly. With a sticky napalm at level 1, they have slowed down enough. There's level 2. I think that actually may be enough damage. Always want to fly is in a lot of trouble. Ace will take first blood. Exactly what a Batrider would love to have happen. And he got it in the bag. Nice little prep. They realize that Abaddon can't just harass from range, and there's no control coming out from either of these heroes. Like, you put a shield on yourself. Once they work through it, they're good. And you notice too that Ryze, he leveled up Ignite as opposed to just going in for the Fire Blast. Because if he went for the Fire Blast, it's a one-hit wonder. Where the Ignite kept the slow on, which means the Batrider was capable of getting his napalm stacks back up again. And that's where Ryze really, like, just a smart skill. Smart skilling. Honey on the bottom lane. 6-2 currently up against a 3-for-1. Not really able to zone out Yoki. Primarily because Come With Me is just, well, he's pulling to farm. Like, this is what he actually has to do. Because it's the only way to get the lane presence back in synergy for themselves. And at the same time, it just buys space for a Brewmaster to come over and contest CS. Even right now, he's just contesting the farm inside the jungle. And he might have a cracker come with me. He's pinging him out saying come with me, he's moving. And he moves west, which should flag a problem for resolution. There's a little bit of a problem in the jungle. Rise has come over with a double damage rune, which he took from the top river. So Sol's not really finding a lot of space here. He's going to be careful with his clarity. He doesn't really have a lot of them. But Rise, he went in a very, very long way here. Now, Ignite will fly out. He's finally going to get hit, which, well, Rise, there's no control. Both these supports can't do anything. Even if Solo did actually have Sprout, he can't actually use it because Rise is still walking around with Tango charges. So really, like, this lineup from Team Empire is just so greedy because they have no presence in the early game in the lanes. I know I was talking about this during the drafting phase, talking about Team Empire with their late game, they'll win hands down. And in this lineup, until the Necro arrived, I probably would have, like, stuck by that. Now I still think it's going to be quite even going into the late game. The Team Empire, yeah, you kind of feel like what their objective is. Their objective is just to farm up the early stages, wait until that Blink Dagger is over on Sun as well as Brewmaster, and then they just force lanes. That's all they really want to do. Bottom lane, come with me. Into the tree lines. Looks like he tried to go onto the Brewmaster. The catcher is on him, and now the salve from Yoki brings him back up again. This is where that extra support comes in from the Nature's Prophet. This is where he's meant to power level himself up by coming into such situations where he just pulls out a lot of experience.
Don't mind me.
This Matt Rudders. A little bit of chip damage. Rise not looking too healthy either. Resolution not getting the upper hand in this lane too much. 17-5 up against a 16-4, so it's quite even. Looks like Yoki again being initiated on. He goes for the clap, tries to buy some space here. What it's going to do is buy some time for Solo to beat in to come with me. Come with me does have boots, so he will be able to outrun Solo to have exactly the same movement speed. The Observe Ward looking around the corner, so we saw the salve being triggered. There's no extra mana left right now from Harney to let off another Lucent Beam. And you've already got Prophet now TPing himself straight back to base again. Alright, nice little skirmishes across the map. That's each team without too much risk trying to force an issue.
The
bottom lane is easy enough to force as it is. Like, you just disrupt, and that's all you really got to do. Ace. Try and restrict that farm area of Solo. And you realize it's Mud Golem, so that Firefly as well as Sticky Napalm is going to be a little bit wasted. The Treants will come in too. So Solo, he'll have this flag. The fact that Ace is in here trying to contest his jungle at the moment. And Solo actually sniping out one of the last hits. And always on a fly, he's going to rotate in. Ace, he's got no Firefly there. Always on a fly, not going for the body block. Would have only needed a moment, then they could have actually sprouted Bat Rider. He had no Tango charges left on him. And with the Firefly on cooldown, they could have actually held him there and beaten into him. But the only way that was going to work is if Abaddon didn't run towards the Bat Rider and actually ran down this direction and blocked the line. He just started body block down the river. That will allow Solid to get the Sprout off. Let's see. Allowed to escape instead. Yoki. He's having a really good time on this offlane as the Brewmaster. Meanwhile, Silent. It's really unusual to see him in such a role as a puck. It's just not his thing. This guy normally takes the big, hard carries. Maybe Resolution, just being a little bit more experimental in this drafting phase for this game. Still waiting for this push to come out from Fnatic. You're going to ring a Basilius. In fact, Honey's just going to turn it on. He's looking for some chip damage into the town more than anything else. He's not really going to get far with that one. It's like a Rise trying to force the issue here in middle lane. He's going to be really careful. That Crypt Swarm and physical DPS from Resolution, it's quite potent. And of course, maybe that's the reason why. He didn't have vision of that. That's just a very lucky Rise picking up the regeneration rune from top. And the bottom room was already taken by the Shadow Demon, so was the bounty. Resolution finding himself with an empty bottle. Rune control's going out the window, and phase boots from Harney. Talking about some chase power. Now that Observer Ward knows that Yoki is in the... And now they definitely know he's there. This should be a disruption to Catcher. Can't we plant a fresh ward as well? So disruption, Catcher, Harney trying to block him into the tree line, and there goes your Eclipse. Solo started his TP. Well, the trap was just well set. Harney blew the ultimate. It was very easy for him to move into position. These phase boots. It's a very uncommon item to come up over on a Luna. Normally you see like just basic tread switching. You go into something like drums, you get Yasha, you go through the old standard kind of motions. You get no attack speed from this, but just the damage output seems to be enough for him. But it was the repositioning, the speed which he got from the phase boost that put him in that perfect position. I think he was going to be in position anyway. It just guaranteed he was away from the creep wave at the time he throws the Eclipse. Still no Blink Dagger on this Bat Rider, but he's well on his way. It's a little bit low on life, so it's not going to be a really quick one. But just pre 10 minutes before that Blink Dagger will arrive. Look at this now. Always want to fly. Can they see him in there? No, they can't. The Fog of War is keeping him covered for the moment. But they're going to need his shield. Always want to fly. He's just waiting for the initiation. Now, Fnatic should know he is there, considering this observer wall was placed. So they know he walked in there. They just don't know if he stayed there. The TP out would have been a way to escape. It's very passive in this early stages. It's not going to take long until it erupts, however. Like, everything is nice and close, but the teams are going to force the issue pretty shortly. You got a 3-0-4-1 Death Prophet. That's a lot of pushing power, and you see Silent too. He's going to go for the Dream Call. He needs to orb himself in right now because Ace, he's already got the last two off. Where's your Dream Call? Now your ultimate. It's not enough from Arise to get that kill on Resolution. He's up and away. The heal comes in from Always Wanna Fly. Silent took the double kill, and Fnatic, oh, it was seemingly the right time to force that. The Crypt Swarm's too far away. The Ghouls will not reach up to Okamajai. And that's just that one moment where Team Empire responded perfectly. The Necro ulti was a little bit too early. It didn't do enough damage. I don't know if they're just trying to keep him controlled for the moment.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
When the second Silent arrived, there was just no follow-up. The tower will get destroyed by the Death Prophet. They take the 2 kills. And what was a quite even golden experience graph is going to drastically change now. And there it is, over 2,000 net worth gained. And the experience is roughly the same. More importantly now, that's going to allow the Death Prophet to have a get out of jail free card. It's the Yule Scepter for the Death Prophet. To break free when Hani is going to initiate. And still, where is this presence from Hani? Where is the forcing of the lanes? It's just not really there right now. So Yoki looking over towards Ace. They're just trying to contest again for these 10-minute runes, and this time around Team Empire being a lot more on the money to actually hold on to them. Silent. Okay, he's already got that silence over on Arise. Just orbed himself away. Stole the haste rune as well, which is he can come back for this. He's bottling up. There's the Prophet, and yeah, Wrath of Nature was used. I think Solo was really surprised that Silent didn't have a crack at that. A haste rune would have allowed him just to run up the high ground, throw out the rift, at least force something out from the Necrolite. The bottle charges put his life points back up again anyway. They just don't do it. Instead, it's on the bottom lane where there's a little bit of prep work coming out. But again, the Observer Ward that went down before from Kawami knows exactly what's going on. There's your Blink Dagger from the puck. Maybe another reason why Silent didn't go in. He wanted to ensure he got the cash for the initiation item. They're just so far back. They need to get rid of this Observer Ward Empire. Every time they do it, they're just going to miss out on any kind of kill chance on that bottom lane. Okamajai able to free farm up the top lane. Set of Arcane Boots he hasn't used yet, and Empire don't care. They got Exorcism off cooldown. If they can get away with not using it, they will. There is fortification available for Fnatic, and it is becoming a trade-off. So the Die will fortify both their towers. Rise being held at bay right now by just a couple of treants. And the fortification at 9 life points. That's leaving it to the last minute there, Fnatic. The Blink Dagger from Ace. He's waiting for someone to come in. Silent still has this Blink Dagger Dream Coil. He's going to cause some problems. Now they jump in. Silence Dream Call. Hits on Hani. Hits on Kami. The orb damage and the nukage from Always Wanna Fly gets the kill on Hani. He'll be quickly following after. I don't know if he had the Mask of Madness turned on or not. But the Brewmaster split goes. Arise. No, they just got him. They got in range. The Observer Ward that's up on the high ground watching the rune gave him the vision up that hill. Not to mention when they're walking over here, they should be able to see him. So 3 heroes gone. A tier 1 tower in the bottom lane also taken by Team Empire. And there's no real collateral. Even that mid tower, it was fortified. And Fnatic never got the last hit on it. The top lane as well. It's only down a half-life. So even the chip damage into the towers isn't really making this worth it. And Empire just pop into the pit. It's Roshan time. And they will commit exorcism for this one. It's primarily because they're missing out on the damage. And they're also losing trees too quickly. But it's only a level 1 exorcism. It's not really enough. Always on a fly, it's gonna... Okay, that'll work. Just shield him up. Keep him up. Top lane. Silent. Will get ganked up. That's a lasso, as well as also like the Fire Blast being used. The Roshan goes away, the Death Prophet. So overall, even though the puck was lost for Team Empire, they still come out on top here. Because now they have an easier ticket to push into the tier 2 towers. Not to mention the extra money and experience. It's a level 11 Death Prophet. A minute and a half till she'll start pushing again, but has a Yule Scepter available, so really good movement speed. Surprisingly, he lets the tower take the damage. Might be because they want to just deny the tier 1 tower now. Yeah, Resolution starts it.
Dire's middle tower.
So with the Agency model and the Yule Scepter, in 75 seconds, you're going to see that Death Prophet force out more towers. Like, if I was trying to think of what Team Empire would do right now, it'd be top lane would be the objective. You got Blade Mail now completed over on the Nature's Prophet. You have a Wrath of Nature up already. So you try and push the tier 1 tower in the top lane. You got a fresh Blink Dagger also over on the Brewmaster. So move everyone north. You take the tier 1 tower. If you can get a pick off, that's fantastic. The Yule Scepter will let you set up for that one. Not quite sure about Hani. I don't know if that actually got hurt or not. He's walking through the dire side jungle without knowing where anybody from Team Empire is. And they'll find out now. Top lane's going to be pressured. And the timing of it all is also perfect. It's a catapult wave from Team Empire. So their ability to push down the lanes is also, like, massively amplified. Also helps too when a Brewmaster picks up a Haste Rune. Resolution should hold the ulti now. Even if Fnatic do bring down the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, the tier 2 tower in the mid lane is being defended by Solo. He has Wrath of Nature, which is going to make it difficult to actually push in. Not to mention after the tier 1 tower was denied in middle lane, they have fortification for the bottom. Well, Fnatic, they don't have fortification anymore. And Resolution, just keep going, boys. Solo's got the mid. The Wrath of Nature will hold the bottom. And Team Empire are not in a position where they can get ganked up. In fact, the Firefly is wearing off right now from Ace. And that might be the reason why Silent's coming in. They're actually not losing a single tower. Resolution's ultimate. He's taking a lot of damage here. He knows he's got Yule Scepter. He's going to get shielded up. Ogre Magi set up and towards the air. There is a level up in Silence, but there's no mana for a Crypt Swarm from Resolution. So they'll just bail out before the tower's within deny range. Hani will mop most of this up too. Still working his way towards that BKB. I fear too late for what Fnatic really need it for. And that's the next team fight. Ace gonna smoke up. He got Come With Me. He managed to pick up a Rise, and that Rise still trying to finish up his mech. But they want a jump-in kill. But Empire, look at him move. They force to the tier 2 tower. Now they push the tier 1 tower out. They push it out from the mid tier 1, their own tier 1 tower, which is no longer existing. Brain function. I don't know what they're doing to check in here, unless they're just checking for wards. Oh, they found an opening. They found Ace. The SD Disruption, just defensive. It's going to waste a little bit of his time, but it buys him time actually to Blink Dagger away. The SD not so lucky. Kami trying to sacrifice himself. Resolution. Damn, he moves so quickly. And Flame Break, Resolution. He's still got the Aegis Immortal. That's why he keeps forcing this. And the attack, it flies north. But they got no way to stun him up and control him. Silence checking with the orb, but now they realize he went the opposite direction. He's already TP'd. And Resolution still has his ulti on cooldown for a while.
For me.
It's almost like he wanted to have the Batrider turn around then just to kill him. Realizing he's just so low. It wouldn't have taken much. Like after that Flame Break, he was only walking around with 200 life points. It really wouldn't have taken that much, but what it would have taken was 2 seconds. And 2 seconds would be more than enough time for Team Empire to actually bring him down. So Resolution's using himself as bait at the moment. Probably shouldn't throw away the Aegis, however.
Top tower is under attack.
And there's no 16-minute room for him to pick up from the bottom river. Silence already walking around with the triggered DD rune. Okay, that's a lot of TPs coming top. They need the Yule Scepter. They need something. But Resolution was the second one to TP in there. So there was no cancelling of the TPs. It does pull Empire off the lanes. Resolution getting really trigger happy with his life points. Yeah, if Bloodseeker was in this game, we'd have in the time of his life right now. Up to 2.8k gold over on the Death Prophet. Maybe he's worried about the timing of the Aegis. That's rightly so. He's got 30 seconds until it times out. And that's actually almost worth walking into the range of the tower for it. I know he still gets the regeneration for it, but the chance of getting caught with your pants down,
Radiant's top tower
aka
is under
Aegis
attack.
Evil disappears and your regeneration is not enough to keep you alive through the damage that's pumped out by Fnatic. Yeah, that's a problem. Middle lane, Arise, bigger problem for him. Drunken Haze, Dream Coil, everything they've got to try and make sure that Arise will go. And they got him. He's at a very long way for a guy who has no tier 1 towers. Now the bottom lane solid's going to come in to defend. So far, Fnatic, oh, they're jumping. Not sure about this. Hani and Kalmi, they want to battle him with the Blade Mail. Hani almost kills himself. One clap, too late. The attack, the Crypt Swarm. Hani's away with 54 life points. They're rotating heroes over to try and find him. He'll TP out in the high ground. Always on a flight. They caught him in time. And the Crypt Swarm from the Death Prophet will take out the Luna. 3.7k. And now it just builds an entire soul booster over on the Death Prophet. The bottom tier 1 tower will still go down. Killed off by the Radiant side. So the first tower of Team Empire to drop, which isn't being denied. Only the second one in total is the same time Batrider. For all that joy which he tried to bring to the world. And he is picked off by a hasted puck. So we go 5-10 now on the board. And Silent, he's still hunting for more. Primarily more runes. Picked up the bounty rune as well after taking the haste rune. Denies on multiple fronts. Calmy's just around the corner from him. Actually, yeah, they know where he is because of the observe ward that's up near the ancient area, but Rise, I don't know why he's not really waking up to this. Maybe he feels he's okay after the rift. He does have himself that point booster, so it's a lot of life points over on that guy, but him being stalled up on the top lane, if he had to TP the bottom lane, that would be a bigger problem. Because right now, Resolution with that Exorcism is still only level 2. So it's not as much damage as he'd probably really like, but it's enough to try and force out the towers. Blink, there's your Lasso, forced up, drag him back. Resolution, big ulti out from Hani. The Necro, though, was the one to kill him off with his ultimate. But the Brewmaster has got his split off. They're looking for well, they can't look for collateral damage right now. Not Team Empire, at least. They need to just bail out of here. The Blade Mail up from Solo. Always want to fly. Trying to carry them all out here. The Brewmaster back to his normal self in a moment. As the Batrider's up towards the air. Solo, shielded again. And he will go down finally. He's always want to fly. He's also going to take a fall on Team Empire. They're having a really, really bad team fight right now. Like, horrendously bad. That's a lot of gold. That's a lot of experience. They just threw the way of Team Empire. And what did Team Empire really gain from that? Chip damage on a tier 2 tower. A little bit of farm for Silent on the top. That's not really enough. And you see how much it really hurts them. Just over 3,000 in the gold swing. And the XP, 3.5, 3.6k. There's some mistakes being made by Team Empire. And that means the full BKB is finally here for Hani. Puck. Solo kill. Kalmi, if he walks out of this one, he's dead. Whoop. Lose some beam. The support coming in here from Yoki. He's got Blink to Clamp available, but nice little timing for the disruption on Come With Me. And Luna's posturing, man, he was able to escape. Thought for a moment Solo was going to try and TP in after him. I think that's what the ping was all about. You wouldn't put a bar Solo. That guy is slightly suicidal. Most Aegis proper players are when they have a blind TP. Your fresh point booster for Arise. So starting up on that Aghanims of his. Either that or he's got his own soul booster on the way. Yoki back to his farming. Still trying to complete up his own Aghanim Scepter. What else we actually still got missing? Resolution needs to finish this this Bloodstone of his. Solo's, he's actually quite content. Treads double nulls, a Maelstrom as well as a Blade Mail for 21 minutes in for no Hand of Midas. It's not too shabby at all. The puck's a little bit behind, but Solo's also Silent's also trying to go the long way around here with the puck. He's trying to get to a Scythe of Ice, so there's no quick and easy Yule Scepter, so there's no easy mana regeneration and bonus control early on. He's trying to go for that big tier 3 item and not just stop at a tier 2. Now, blink, silence. He got Hani before the Lucid Beam can be triggered. But then Hani, BKBs, Orb, as well as Rift away, which means they wasted a little bit of time here. Resolution still cooked a lot of damage. Necrolite ulti, that'll ensure the kill over on the puck. And Resolution wants some revenge kills. He's got his ulti up and running, and Ace got to be careful about being that close. Always want to fly. Was going to keep him up, but they're losing players right now and not getting any kind of rebuttal. They'll lose Resolution as well. Always want to fly. He can't do anything more. He can give a heal to Resolution. Back into the tree line, and there's Exorcism. There's your Yule Scepter, only freshly over on the Ogre Magi. It saves his life for a moment, but the moment's not long enough as the Yule Scepter of the Death Prophet was able to buy her more time to keep that ulti going to work. Ace, always on a fly, no ulti available. He can still shield, however. While Yoki goes into the tree lines, 5 seconds until he can blink himself away. And now, blink, and he just decides to split. Batrider will still get the kill here. Come with me. Who do you really focus on here as a Brewmaster? He kind of wants to pick off the SD because he's the easier one of them all. Especially when Solo comes in to help. He's got Wrath of Nature off cooldown in 10 seconds time. And this Brewmaster, he can't get there with the Brewling in time. He wanted to set the Necro up and towards the air and Arise with the low mana he's got. It would have been difficult to escape. He's only 500 gold away from that Ags now. Feeling a lot more comfortable with himself. And again, Team Empire have a really bad fight for themselves. Overall, yeah, they're giving away all their advantage they had. Just 2 straight team fights. They're probably going for Roshan in a moment. And Resolution doesn't have his ulti for this, however. But they need to get that Aegis the Immortal. Prophet, his full army of trees are coming in. And the P's are coming out from Ace. And always on a fly, scouts him out. That Firefly is very early on. And they've been careful about the flame break. Now the puck jumping up, the Dream Call well wafted. And the smoke actually comes out from Fnatic. That is far enough away, they probably won't spot it instantly, but come with me. Jumps in for the SD Disruption. Looks for some follow-up, always on a fly. That ulti though, he's going to come back to life pretty quickly. Resolution, no ulti yet. 11 seconds still left on the Exorcism, and then they got Lasso. They pulled him back out here, fly up in towards the air with the Yule Scepter from Rise. A little bit of time being purchased, and always on a fly. He can't get the shield off in time. They're going to lose always on a fly from the Necro ulti. And look at him just go so quickly into that pit. Buff and fight. And Team Empire looking really, really unsettled. Yoki, he can potentially blink into the pit from there, but he's going to back up. And they will let Roshan go. Aegis the Immortal into the back of Hani. What's coming over from that courier too? There's your full Ags now in for a rise. Empire, they've lost complete control of this. Yoki, whoa, 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 whoa. They're going to stun him instantly. Nice, double silence. They want to rise Deb. And they should be able to claim him here. And they got him too. Orb over. They find Kamami in the tree lines. Defensive disruption. The Sprat still gave him the vision. But it's going to be a double kill. Going the way of Team Empire into the hands of Puck Hani. On the run out of here already. He moves pretty quickly. He'll move even quicker now. There's a haste rune up his sleeve. 522 on the movement speed. Again, Solo comes up here to defend the top tower. Ace. And Hani with that haste rune is going to be right there for a quick Lucid Beam if he wants to. But the Hex over an Ace, and maybe Ace bit off a lot more than what he could chew. Now there's Fnatic who are giving away. Well, there's 2 really good team fights, 2 good engagements. And they go the other way. The Batrider throws away its life on the top lane, and the Necrolite as well as the SD get picked up on the retreat from the Roshan. All these things together. Resolution. Oh, what a ward. The defensive disruption. Solo's going to come in, and Hani, he has to BKB. Resolution just wants this Aegis. Gone. Resolution! Too much damage. The Necro ulti goes again. And Solo's on the run. Hani. Oh, they got him trapped. The poison let him see over the Sprout. It's just tit for tat on the throw game. Not 100% certain what I'm actually casting right now. It's like Team Empire just trying to find the fight so they can push high ground. Seems to be their only goal right now. But every time they do that, they're giving away so much. Now Silence going to make his way down the bottom lane, so Rise. Again, another moment where you're forcing out a long, long way. Silence going to stick with him though. He can blink. Okay. I thought for a moment he would just silence him, and Buy some time for Yoki to arrive and blink clap, but guess not. Now Hani triggers Mask of Madness, wants to force this mid lane as quickly as he possibly can before Empire can respond to it. This is a really, really big Luna too. She is the highest in the net worth. And Iris is actually the support prophet of all people, with the puck right behind, right in front.
Tower is under attack.
And only then do you start looking down towards the Death Prophet. And this Bloodstone, while it is a standard item to be picked up by the Death Prophet, they're going to need some really good fights directly after picking this up, so they can pick up those charges for resolution. They also just need to buy more space for this Death Prophet. She doesn't survive long enough. And that's the primary problem of resolution right now. Oh, Arise, it's the bigger problem. You'll scepter up, but then again, Silence protected by that. So Horizon's ulti having no effect. He did it on his half when he's full life anyway. Silent, now he's in trouble. The last two, they are really committing to bring down this puck. Yoki back to his normal self. Gonna clamp over on two. Resolution, no ultimate. Just Silence and Crypt Swarm. But then again, Ace, Yule Scepter up. Resolution's waiting for it until he hits the deck. That right-click attack is not enough. 48 life points. Almost got denied up by the neutrals, in fact. There's a 3-for-1 trade-off. Solo one to stick with this one. The Drunken Haze going into Hani. The Crypt Swarm as well just keeps battling into him. But they need to get in front and block him out. Is there a Yule Scepter? 1 second, and then Hani will be set up and towards the air, allowing them to reposition. The shield actually broke. That was almost enough to kill him off. But they get through the Aegis Immortal. An Exorcism from Resolution. Come with me. They come with me! He's in the tree line! He got burnt by that. Hani's BKB does not protect him from this. There's a disconnection from the Necrophos. He's down at the moment. That's the auto pause that comes out. It's the new change that came into the client. So Solo's obviously not ready for it. It's an auto pause. So the recent changes which came out, obviously there was a couple of IP protection things that did also arrive. But whenever a hero will disconnect from the game in a ranked game, not a ranked game, in a professional game like this, or I should think it works in rank 2, the game will instantly pause. There's no hesitation whatsoever. But Hani's in so much trouble at the moment. He BKB'd, he's still trying to beat into Resolution. Some good damage coming out from him. But Resolution, unless its Creep Wave starts soaking up every single Exorcism attack, then Hani's not going to survive this. And Resolution will just live. He's already up to 11 Bloodstone charges here. I said they needed a perfect fight. And Team Empire, by Jove, they got a perfect fight. Alright, so Arias needs a moment. I really don't know what Hani wants to do out of this. Because even if he does manage to pick up Resolution, well actually that would stop the push. It won't stop them from losing their tier 2 tower because they're dead for too long. Resolution, they couldn't back up in time. The damage from Hani was enough, but he'll actually get out of this one, Hani. So the Sprout actually had a little bit more timing on it. Empire, yo, what are you guys doing? He's not sticking around for this. And you have no creep wave that allows you to dive underneath the tier 2 or let alone a tier 3 tower like that. The tier 3 tower in the top lane is taking some damage, so that's nice for you. The Solo already just jumped himself back. Let's the creep wave do the damage to the tier 2 tower in the middle lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under
and Hani will be really happy with that. That's the Exorcism. At least the SD did go down, so it's not a total loss for Resolution. But he did lose a lot of charges on that Bloodstone, and it was a kill to the Luna too. It wasn't a sacrifice coming up there from Death Prophet. Resolution seriously thought he was out of that one home and host. That's why he turned around instantly. He realized he was taking too much damage. That's what the pause was, like at the exact same time he was on the turn. Silent. It's not going to reach him in time. Solo will, however. There's that new Scythe device. They'll follow up with Silence as well. Speaking of Silence, Wrath of Nature bounces through ST. Come with me. The Dream Core's going to hold them both in position. The Orb attack will flying into. He really tried to go for the Hallelujah save, but now they're probably even going to lose their Courier. That's the one with the gem, but they want Rise more than anything else. The rest of the team was too far away. That's the rest of Empire was too far away. But you've got Luna down for the count. She does have buyback available for now. Along with Necro. But Empire know what they want. Like, if they force the buyback, that's fine. But Honey will not buy back to defend a tier 2 tower. It's not worth the money or the buyback
Radiant's
timeout.
middle tower is under attack.
He does not want to have that timer on him. So the Death Prophet's building into a BKB. And Puck will take the last hit in the tower. Ace. Considering a jump out. There's Illusion. He's got ulti in 4 seconds. They can at least do some chip damage here. It's just if Resolution wants to commit. You do have a DD rune over on the Brewmaster, but there's no reason for Empire to go high ground. The Luna comes up in a moment. The best they would get is the tier 3 tower. And that for them right now is not good enough. They've got to keep their split pressure on. Oh, so they're just going to fall behind in this game. They know the Luna can basically 1v5 them if she gets big enough. Really wasn't expecting the Luna to have this much presence as well, especially with the little items that Harley has got. Like Mask of Madness, SMY, BKB. Like, you're not looking at anything really major. You don't really blame him for it either. The fact he still has the highest net worth when there's 3 out of towers still alive up for Team Empire. That in itself. And it's not just the Tower Gold, it's the map control which Team Empire is showing. And they're coming up. They're smoked up and they're moving north. And they're going to see if they can catch somebody out. The smoke is going to wear off. They're just behind that creep wave. Yoki, look at him, he's just on the edge of the vision. And now they can jump in. Do they go for a Yules? Yeah, they do. Resolution goes for point blank. Harney triggers his ultimate, but minimal damage. Now he can move over to the one he wants. He wants Resolution. Yules Scepter up. LOA has to keep Resolution alive. He's already used the shields. There's the extra damage. The Crypt swarm up. Resolution, the ultimate. There's your shield. And again, 8 drags him up. The Necrolite ulti will get the pick off on Resolution, but that's the only one they've got so far. Solo into that Blade Mail. They get the extra stun from the Bruling into a Rise. He's death pulsing to stay alive at the moment, but it's not enough. Solo will take a double kill here. A 7-3-10 Nature's Prophet will instantly TP himself towards the mid lane, give some good momentum here, and where's your buybacks? There's still only Luna and Necro that can buy back, and they'll need to. They'll lose tier 3 towers here at least, unless they buy back right now.
Radiant's middle tower is
Solo
under attack.
up a long way, but it's a bait. He purposefully did that, so Kamami would try and come in and stall him up. Solo, though, he's still going to go down. He didn't lose the tower aggro. Death Prophet's still dead for the moment. Ogre Shine now with a full Ags.
Structures are fortified.
So welcome to Unrefined Fire Blast. And Yoko instantly tried to jump him silent. He was the primary target there of Rise. He did not want to be silenced. The tier 3 tower will drop, and that's all that Empire want. But the Purge on the Brewmaster might force him to fight. Always going to fight, throwing his shields, throwing everything he's really got to keep him up. As Ace searches for an opening. Silent will hex him up to start with. There's your follow-up Silence. He should have an orb up in a moment. In fact, he's going to use the Dream Call, but Resolution sends him up. There is no Exorcism. There's only the Crypt Swarm available. They've already lost the Brewmaster to the Ogre Magi. Bottom tier 3 tower is also taking some chip damage while all that was going on. Resolution, you have to wait another just under 2 minutes before Roshan's going to be available for you. He's getting closer and closer towards that BKB. Always on a fly. He's actually building his own Aghanim Scepter. For all the LOAs that we watch played, the Ags is one of the very few abilities that we actually see, few items which we see being picked up. No one really thought it was worth the cash to come out from an Abaddon. Like, if you got that amount of cash, you just try and buy the mech. Which I should also flag too. We are running a mechless lineup. A completely mechless lineup. Why are they doing that, in fact? It's not as though their stayability is absolutely amazing. Surprising. Very, very surprising. Well, Harney, not surprising at all. Guy goes back to farming. 3.5k gold over on this Luna. Still having buyback available as well. The BKB is definitely down duration now. Only 6 seconds for the duration of the BKB. Ace, considering a jump on Solo. And I realize, oh no. Okay, maybe he did realize it was a bad idea. Resolution was rotating down. They didn't have vision of this. But they're definitely peeing out the fact that Ace is trying to escape here. Puck didn't actually rift himself into that. They find Roshan. Actually use the Lincoln Sphere to help trigger out. The Wrath of Nature to help trigger off the spell block. And Resolution. Okay, this is full commitment. They don't want to waste any kind of time. So Roshan will have to remain here and then die for the Team Empire lineup. Aegis the Immortal. It goes to Resolution. That means they give the cheese over to Brewmaster, or is it going to... Yeah, it should be Brewmaster. Drops the TP scroll for it. Nice, you've got a bounty rune in the bottom river to take. It's like, do you want bottle charges? Okay, let's just go to always on a fly. That's actually his bottle, because Resolution dropped his bottle to pick up the Aegis the Immortal. Alright, so for now, Empire. Alright, so you're walking around with the Lincoln Sphere as well as a Lincoln Sphere as well as Scythe to Puck. Who actually gives that protection over to the Brewmaster. They'll group up and smoke. And who are they using as bait? It's Solo. So Solo does the push up on top. He might also want to trigger this Wrath of Nature to get control of the mid and the bottom lane back again. Alright, yeah, there it goes. That's purely for control. This will make Fnatic actually... it is a little bit of a 6 of... Like, is it really that great for him? So Solo is the one they're trying to get the Batrider to jump on. Harney's right behind him. Oh, they fell for it. They fell for the trap. The shield came up and the BKB. They hex into Ace. They need him dead. Harney will in fact BKB TP out. He's down to 5 seconds anyway, so it didn't really matter. So there's no kill on Ace, but Lasso is down. The BKB on cooldown. And what did Team Empire really commit? Not a hell of a lot. Like, no Brewmaster split had to be used. The BKB from Solo, yes, it was triggered. But they still have the ulti from Resolution and his BKB. Which means if Team Empire want to, they can just force high ground here. Alright, here they come. Defend it up. You've still got Necro on the bottom lane. You'll have to come back in a moment. He has a TP scroll available. It's Rise just looks to get rid of the creep wave for now. The mid lane is still not forcing in. Is that Solo? Yeah, Solo's already headed down the bottom lane. He can TP back at any moment. And he knows he's enough. I don't know if he's a full match for a Rise. He definitely can fight strong. That's Lincoln Sphere protection. Whoever's on the front lines, making sure the Batrider cannot track him. Solo is the man on the split push job. So Resolution, there goes your Exorcism. Lincoln Sphere will be triggered already. And now Ace will try and jump in. Where's your follow-up jump? There it is from the Brewmaster. Instantly into the split. Ace, you'll set from towards the air. We'll save him for the moment. And then he can get into the tree lines with that Firefly. Resolution, too much damage. He's lost his ulti. Even though the Aghanim Interceptor will trigger, he doesn't have that Exorcism anymore. So that's a huge amount of physical damage, but they might still have enough. Rise will go down with the orb on him. A Rise to follow directly after that. The phase shift's just buying him some time away from these SD illusions. After the double buyback coming out from Necro as well as Ogre Magi. Always want to fly, the oldie will trigger. The Sprout to give him the vision, also a bit of a block up the ramp. They drunk and haze over on Rise, but they want Resolution. He'll use his BKB now, while the Abaddon will take a fall. Come with me. Dying on the outside, the cheese had to be used by Solo. Resolution TPs himself out to safety. And Solo, now he's trying to do the same kind of thing. If they can get away with only losing an Abaddon after forcing a double buyback, and not to mention the damage towards the mid lane, like, this is insanely problematic for Fnatic. That wasn't meant to be a pun, but was realized. Because they didn't get enough for all their buybacks they committed. And at least didn't have to buy back at the looter. That's still their primary big thing. The fact that Harney is only 1 or 2 creep waves away from having his full butterfly, this will cause so many problems for Team Empire. Because they still don't have direct damage. Unless Nature's Prophet's can be building into a Monkey King bar, which, judging by the amount of gold he's got, it wouldn't actually take him that long if that was the decision he wanted to make. Alright, so we get Resolution back inside the game. That auto pause is actually working on wonder. It's an absolute treat. Alright, we're good. Sorry. Awesome. Let's roll. There's Batrider. He caught out the Brewmaster. Tried to go for the clap. Not going to work. Silent comes in. Oh, man, Silent. may just thrown away his life points for this.
Top barracks
Yogi
are
was
under
already
attack.
going to go down. The Yule Scepter from Rise trying to hold Silent in position. He can't phase shift after getting 3 times multicasted. The top waves are still being forced out. Look at Solo. The balls from this guy. He's got to get out of here so quickly. Orion will blink up. Solo will hex him, but the body block, even as a pig, Orion could do it. If he needs to, he can trigger the ulti just to slow him down, but the support just rotates in, and Solo, I don't know what you're really expecting yourself to do. They just keep bumping him up with the Yule Scepters, wasting his time. Now your Necro ulti will just slice him in two. Huge amount of money, and that's also 2 minutes on the sideline for that Nature's Prophet. He can buy back, but the amount he just gave over, that's just the 1 kill, and he gave 3,000 worth of experience. Team Empire. Again, they look like they're having some really good fights. They're getting a lot of control. And then they say something stupid, like I push you. They just need to do it a little bit more throttled than Solo. No ROTK style pushes right there, man, please. And then Ags as well as the Yule Scepter on Ogre Magi. It's really been doing some heavy lifting. Not to mention, it's a level 17 Ogre Magi. This guy, you may as well consider him a core. Yeah, smoke up and try and find a pick off here, Fnatic. And Empire already moving deeper inside their base. As far back as they can keep themselves. That's Fnatic. Well, let's leave an aggressive observer ward behind. Pretty much more than that, though. Like, Rise is showing himself, but it's, yeah, they're really not forcing the issue anymore. With this, obviously the smoke down, and the fact that Harney is also not there. Like, he's running at the middle lane now. Are they going to force a team fight? The Prophet's still down for 23 seconds, but he can buy it back if essential. But Empire, it shouldn't be essential for them. They have Fortification available, Resolution, the shield from Always Gonna Fly will break him out. That was BKB as well as the lasso being used. That was also the 10-second BKB from the Bat Rider. And Resolution just wants to force an issue. If you can catch up to anybody, but he can't. Fnatic are already bailing out the second that lasso got cancelled. And where is Empire headed? They've still got a little bit more time before Roshan could potentially spawn, another 2 minutes or so. And Empire do the right thing. Now, this is exactly what Solo should be doing. Creep skipping it. They need to keep the momentum coming in through the top. Keep Fnatic looking behind them. If Roshan really is the critical point here for Team Empire, then Fnatic have to be more worried about these Raxes than worried about Roshan. And there's that Monkey King Bar build coming in from Solo. He needs more time for this, though. Unless he's going to sell. He actually has to sell something. And Kuro is actually coming out with bottle as well as the smokes on it. He can't take these things yet.
Double damage.
Unless he's going to sell something bigger. Oh, it looks like he's having a crack for the Bat Rider. Might be worthwhile. Team Empire also putting an observer ward over on the side so they can see Bat Rider moving. Just like up on this little cliff top on the left. They need to have intelligence of where Team Empire are trying to initiate from. That's the reason why you put down like wards like this, so you know, okay, is someone farming up inside the jungle? Are they coming into our own jungle? Nope, nope. It's the vision to see what's important to Team Empire at the time. A lot of pings coming up in that DD rune on the Death Prophet, but really, I don't think that's the major concern. Exorcism will be used. Now, Blinkin. Where's your Lincolns? Oh, that was really nicely done, Ace! That was so flawless. He blinked himself in. He used the Yule Scepter on Always Want to Fly, so he couldn't actually shield. And that allowed him to lasso into the Death Prophet. Now the multiple stuns. Always Want to Fly. They brought him down to 10%, brought him up to 100%, then brought him down to 0%. And now 2 major heroes for Team Empire down. This game, I kind of don't want to say it this way, but it really is the truth. This game is in the hands of Solo right now. He's the one that will make or break this. If he can keep the split push going, then Fnatic cannot come high ground. But he needs to keep the split push going. And Fnatic have no real way to answer this. Because you went Ness and Y build over on the Luna, you don't have Mana Star, which can just give a little bit of momentum towards the lane. And Solo, like, sure he didn't go into a Necro book,
Radiant's
but
bottom tower is
I don't think it really matters at this point. The Maelstrom lets him clean up the creep wave quick enough. He's going a damage building build anyway. And they found an opening. It's Silent. Great Brewmaster, blinking, clap split, Silent. Too many multicast. 4 on him and the Necrolite ulti. Solo trying to battle him, but the damage output from Honey is too ridiculous. This is not what Team Empire wanted to have happen. They did not want to fight. And now more multicast coming out. The Brewmaster ulti is still around. Arise caught in the tree line. And we pulled out. Roshan, they still have to wait. He's not available just yet. But a huge amount of experience at Gold Swing coming the way of Fnatic there. Full BKB for the Necro. I think this is over, actually. They're going to push down middle lane. The BKB will come off cooldown in a moment for Hani. It's low anyway. But as long as Ogre keeps getting these multicasts, like he got a quad multicast on a puck. Like, that's just not nice. And the initiation on the top lane was probably still... like, it was flawless. It was absolutely flawless. The pings are coming out saying, can you have a crack? It always want to fly. Ace, yep, there he goes again. Yule sets him up, drags Resolution back, and that lets Hani just let rip with the DPS. And the Glaives, they really cause problems when Empire group up like that. A double buyback will come. Resolution, there's your Exorcism. They need to win this fight hard, or else they go home right now. SD Disruption defensively, trying to buy more space here for Hani. Now Orion in with a Death Pulse. Necrolite ultimate is enough to kill off Resolution with a follow-up from Ryan's with his stun. It was Luna who got the DPS in, and now Solo, they got Grob on the Silent for so damn long, they can just push this mid-ranks completely down, let the Glaives go to work, they'll bounce through the buildings anyway and do the damage towards the heroes, and Solo, he's trying to TP out, not fast enough, this is over, they're going to wreak absolute havoc on the base of Team Empire. The Brewmaster might be up, and he will be picking up Ace at the moment, 4 staff up, he can't blink in time, the Firefly's even wearing off. They can go for it, what? You've got only buyback on a Brewmaster. They're falling back, I think, to go for Roshan. That's going to be the only reason why they are here. Because they could have just taken tier 4 towers and go for the GG push. So Silent. There goes your... there you go. I thought he was going to jump in. And now, well, it's Rise is trying to go on the Brewmaster who BKB's up.
See you in the spring.
They still got Aegis and Cheese from that, though. Or at least they should have. Why the hell is there 4 TP scrolls inside of Come With Me? He just stole everything that was sitting on the ground inside the pit. Harney's now to 9.4k gold. Might be worth selling that Mask of Madness now and picking up a Satanic. If he really wants to keep up with that survivability. Empire. This almost feels like the last roll of the dice. They got 5 seconds until Exorcism. They must get a counter Rax right now. They have no other choice. Ogre Magi is down, but he'll just buy back. Empire do not have this luxury. So Solo will grab the creep wave. He's still sitting shy of his Monkey King bar. That's 3,000 gold just sitting in his stash, which cannot be used. And they found an opening. They found Ace. So no Batrider control, but then again, he'll just buy back. You got a buyback by the Ogre Magi. Resolution got the ulti off. The fortification was saving the range Rex at the moment, but there's your ulti. It tries to slice him up, but the Yule actually protects Resolution. Hani comes out. He'll deny himself up Resolution. LOA back to life points again. But Hani, he must die right now. But he's an Aegis Immortal. So even if they do kill him, what do they really gain from this? He'll trigger the Aegis. Orion stands his ground. Then Empire, they've just got nothing more to fight with. They're losing Brewlings left, right, and center. Hani is back to War of the Living again. Come On Me comes up. So they found the last remaining Brewling. Solo is the only other player from Team Empire not here. Yoki up in the air. Everything they've got to kill him. Now be successful. And the Nature's Prophet, he's just desperately trying this split push. It's the only thing he can do. With his team being entirely dead, what else can you try and achieve? Oh, he's TPing up for the courier.
Is under attack.
That's a good snipe off.
Radiant's courier
It's
has
a
been
really,
killed.
really good snipe off. That was actually a second butterfly. Who the hell did that even belong to? Wait, Hani? You're building it. He's building double butterfly? I suppose when you get that much cash, he doesn't want to give up the extra attack speed and lifesteal. Why not? He's coming in for the GG push. He knows they're dead. He knows how quickly he can bring down these buildings. So send up and towards the air. If he wants to, he actually still buy the second butterfly now. Dragon back, Resolution, primary target, Necrolite ulti. They're just trying to control Resolution as long as possible. Get the BKB off, but Orion is still on his tail for the moment. Solo, and always want to fly. They make sure Resolution lives, but this is just a space baker. Hani, they'll make more of him with the SD disruption. And look at the glaives just go. They'll bring down the tier 4 towers. They'll go into the fortress. Resolution, he's actually copying so much damage because of the extra help from the Moonwell. Ace will come up. They want these extra kills. Resolution, 31 life points he'll drop to, but the Batrider base damage finishes the job. This is over. This is GG. It will go the way of Fnatic for game number 1. And game number 2 will be coming up in a couple of moments' time. I'm interested to see just how well this will all pan out, because at the moment, this is not looking good for Team Empire. Been some very uncoordinated engagements, and we'll see how game number 2 goes. Also, guys, if you are tuning in, I apologize if you're seeing a little bit lower quality than what you're normally used to. As I said at the start of the broadcast, we are changing a couple of things here in the studios. Some of it was changed while we were at New York, and it still needs to be pieced back together again. So hopefully that can be sorted out soon. But yeah, that's why the quality might be just a little bit lower for your stream tonight. But for now, stay tuned. We'll be back for more action, hopefully in just a moment.